Hello for the Bookworms, it's Katie. So today we're in my kitchen again, or our kitchen, basically, because my flatmates are not here. So today we're making scones because my grandma gave me a new jar of rose jam and I thought, I haven't made scones in a while. Now I have a recipe, a new recipe. I had one, but I lost it. I can't find it at the moment. So I have one from the BBC Food website, which I will link for you down below. I've never made this recipe, so this could very well go very wrong. It's from a person called Paul Hollywood, and it says underneath his name from the Great British Bake Off. I'm presuming he's one of the judges there. I don't know, because I don't watch the Great British Bake Off. I know it's a whole thing, but if you know anything about me, you know I'm not trendy and I don't really watch a lot of TV. But also I wanted to, use this maybe to chat a little bit about book reviews, because I have a few thoughts about this. What do I have to do? Preheat the oven to 220 degrees Celsius. 220 degrees, 220, yep, and there you go. Second step. Lightly grease a baking tray with butter and line it with baking or silicone paper. Why do I need to grease it when I line it with paper anyway? We'll just skip this step. Put 450 grams of the flour into a large bowl. Okay, add the butter. Okie doke, rub the flour and butter together with your fingers to create a breadcrumb-like mixture. Alright, let's do that. Hello, please, thank you. Eggs, sugar and baking powder. Mix in with a wooden spoon. He specifies this. So let me see if I can find a wooden spoon that is not dirty. I was successful. How many eggs do I need? 2. Okie doke. Okay. Sugar, 80 grams. Oh, I overdid it. It's around 100 grams now. Well, we'll just go with it, right? It can't be that bad. Now, how much baking powder do I need? 5 tablespoons! 5 tablespoons! That's a lot of baking powder. Okay, okay, Paul Hollywood, I trust you. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. 5 tablespoons, all right. 1, 2, 3, 5 tablespoons. 4, 5. What is the next step, Paul Hollywood? Now add half of the milk and keep turning the mixture. How much milk do I need? So, 1/4 of a liter milk. I specifically bought milk for these scones because I usually use rye milk for my tea and stuff, because I'm lactose intolerant. But you know, I'll just have a few days of weird toilet experience after this. Well, that's too much information. Does this qualify as a soft wet dough? I think so. Not gonna lie, this was exhausting. Let's see, what is the next step? So basically the next step is just use the bread kneading method to knead the dough. Next comes the cutting. If you don't have any kind of pastry cutter, then here's a trick. Just use a drinking glass. So I might have overworked the dough. So I'm not sure whether this is going to work still, but anyways, let's try. Here they are. They may not be, you know, the best scones I ever made, but we're going with it. And honestly, I don't have that high of a standard when it comes to baking. The most important thing is that it tastes good. All that is left is the glazing. And here's a tip: you don't need to use the entire egg as it is in the recipe. For the glazing, you really just need the egg yolk. So now the scones are in the oven. I will clean up the mess. You can watch the scones and then finally we will have a chat about book reviews. I don't know, I thought I had more time to chat to you while doing this recipe, but it turns out I didn't. Now I'll clean up this mess. I thought we should take my Frankenstein little, you know, leftover scone that I made. So I thought we'd try this one while talking a little bit about book reviews. I'm always thinking about book reviews, really, because that's what I love doing. Recently, you know, negative book reviews have come a little bit under criticism in the booktube world, and I've made a few negative book reviews, and you will at the point of this recording you haven't seen them, but when this video is released you probably have. I wasn't too favorable on the Darker Shades of Magic series by W.E. Schwab, which is a very beloved series, and I'm predicting that I am going to get a little bit of hate for it because I was very ruthless. As for negative book reviews, let me just get my tea. The thing about negative book reviews is that I don't get the debate. Like, I love making negative book reviews because I just have so much to say about books that just, you know, weren't that great maybe, and I didn't like that much. I think, you know, negative book reviews are important. Critical thinking is important because if you stop thinking critically, you might end up voting for Trump, and that's not good. Critical thinking is important. Let me just tell you that as someone who had to study the German history in all its gruesome details. The thing is, negative book reviews, or if you put rant review in a title, you know that it is going to get more views than a normal book review. That's just the way the world works. That's the way the internet works. We all like to see people beat down on other things. There's a line between being mean and being critical. Like, you know, I'm never trying to be mean. I'm trying to state my opinion, but I'm not trying to be mean. And if you are going to be mean in a negative review, that's not criticism. That's just being mean and being an asshole, and that's not okay. But honestly, most reviews that I've seen, negative reviews that I've seen, are just reviews. They're just reviews, and they're just, you know, people stating their opinion. That's another thing that, you know, I think about before I'm posting a negative review is, of course, will I get hate for this? Will there be trolls that harass me? Which has never happened. I mean, there was one comment I once got on a video that I've since deleted because I wasn't happy with the quality of it. Nothing to do with my opinion. I am happy to state that The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami is overrated and it's just pretentious as hell. But there was just one comment that I got and I was like, okay. Anyways, that's a booktube. That's not just booktube, that's all of the internet. That's all of the internet. People get so easily offended and butthurt when they hear opinions that they don't agree with, or when they hear negative reviews or criticism on their favorite things, their favorite forms of entertainment. And I don't know why that happens. I mean, that's just a change in the society, I think. And that's just something that, you know, lots of people have to deal with, not just book reviewers, movie reviewers, any form of entertainment really. And I think it's because, I don't know, there's such a not really variety of entertainment in these days. The access to entertainment is so easy, and I think people really identify over the media they consume. Like, they identify themselves over being a fan of something, like over being a Star Wars fan, or they identify as being a Sarah J. Maas fan, if we're going to stay in the tiny realm of booktube. And if you, as a reviewer, say that you don't like this thing, I can see how because they identify as a fan of, let's say, Sarah J. Maas, if you criticize that they can take that personally and, you know, see that as an attack on themselves. They identify their person, you know, their very existence over the fact that they are a fan of that thing. You get what I mean? So I can logically, you know, understand why people are butthurt about things, or why people get offended, because it feels like an attack on their very existence. I'm not saying that reaction, you know, an angry reaction towards the reviewer is justified, because it's not justified. Being an asshole is never justified. I also think that's not really healthy, you know, identifying yourself over being a fan of X, Y, and Z things. And maybe I'm completely wrong with this analysis, I don't know, but I see this trend, not just, as I said, in booktube, it's just really any kind of entertainment, that people are immensely attached to things. They identify themselves so much over liking or being a fan of this thing that when they hear criticism, I can understand this reaction, but I don't think it's good, and I don't think it's healthy, and I don't know why society is moving in this direction, and I don't know how to stop it, but I see it and I find it interesting, you know? It makes me wonder, what do I identify as? What do I identify myself over? And yeah, so that's a few thoughts on book reviews and negative book reviews and the reaction that it, you know, draws in other people, from other people. I don't know, you guys. I've talked a lot now, so there's that. Let's eat. Okay, I'm hungry. Sip of tea. Let's try what we fabricated today. smells nice. Can you see it? It looks good. Now, since I live in Germany, I don't have access to clotted cream because they don't sell that here. Or if they sell it, I haven't found it yet. I think the closest substitute that I can find here in this country where I live to clotted cream is this stuff, creme légère. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but let's just put it on there. This reminds me of my mom because we used to eat scones on the weekends and have tea. That were some of the better times that I remember with my mom. I'm telling you loads of things you don't want to know right now. Oh. So now I'm taking a little bit of this self-made rose jam. It's from last year because I just remember that I had it. My grandma gave it to me last year and now she gave me a new jar and I was like, oh, I haven't even opened the one from last year. And I was like, maybe I should do that. Alright, it does not really look good because you can't really spread the rose jelly. I thought it was more, you know, jam-like, but it's really, really, really jello-y. Let's try it. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. Yes. We can be proud of ourselves. It's really good. Do you want to taste? Okay, just taste it. Okay, taste it. Just take a bite. What do you think? It's good, huh? I think so too. That's a good recipe, Paul Hollywood. I'm going to make this again. I'm going to finish this right now. And then I'm probably going to sit down and read for a little bit. I really need to finish Tangleweed and Brine, which I've been reading for a few weeks now, and I haven't picked it up in a few weeks. I've read a few stories and then I would just put it down and didn't open it anymore. I'm not sure about this short story collection, y'all. I mean, it's alright, but I can't get along with the writing. I just can't. It's just second person narrative is just not for me. I think we were successful this time with the scones. Let's wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting watching me making scones and talking a little bit about book reviews. Please let me know what you think about negative book reviews and, you know, my analysis of the reason why people react as strongly as they do towards book reviews or negative book reviews in particular, and maybe how do you find reviewers, or what criteria do you use to find reviewers that you can trust, or that you take their reviews to heart, or you know what I mean. I hope you're going to eat something today that just tastes wonderful and amazing and makes you happy, because we can all use more happiness in our lives, and it's no kidding, but food is happiness. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you're having a wonderful day and I will see you soon. Bye!